Boy, don't we have a show for you today. Not just the fact that it's CSK versus RCB, a marquee fixture in the IPL, but we also got a brand new guest to take on our Criclytics machine. Watch his space to find out more. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you're back watching another Criclytics Man vs. Machine, and we don't have a left-hander in the house finally after Gautam Gambhir, Brian Lara, Mark Butcher. It's Saba Karim, the former Indian wicket-keeper, who, mind you, has a better first-class average than all three of them. Saba, welcome to the show. And it's finally great to chat with you about the machine and whatnot. Your first thoughts about this mega derby clash that we're heading into on a Super Sunday, please.
First up, thanks for such good compliments from you, Avanish. I mean, it's good to know that I do have a decent first-class career record as a batsman, although I was known more as a wicket-keeper batsman. Yes, but this is a very important clash because both these sides are having a very good run. RCB especially, 4 wins on a trot. On the other hand, CSK, very smart recovery from them. It seems that CSK has kind of covered all their bases, the way they have strongly come back in this season of IPL. So it looks to be a high-octane kind of a clash between these two kind of giants now.
No, absolutely. I'll wear my neutral hat because I have to as a sports anchor, but invariably I kind of tilt RCB because I'm a Bangalore boy, Saba. You got to understand that. And I bleed red inside. I would put that out there. Can you tell the fans, including myself and a lot of plethora of RCB fans out there, what has worked for them this season? Is it a combination of the shift in venues, the fact that they're not playing in the Chinnaswamy? Is it their signings and marquee players like Maxwell and Jamieson, or is it a combination of everything? What's your thoughts on RCB?
It has to be a combination of factors because one has to be extremely intelligent and very smart during the auction. That's what RCB did. They were able to address the issues that plagued them last season. They realized quite early that the death over bowling is a big problem area for them. So they tried to cover that kind of a base. So they brought in Kyle Jamieson. They traded Harshal Patel with Delhi Capitals, who has paid some great dividends for them. So that was a very smart pick by RCB. On top of that, they realized that if they are looking to get Glenn Maxwell, it is very important to understand his psyche and the way the Australian T20 side has utilized the services of Glenn Maxwell. That is one reason why we see Virat Kohli opening the innings, and they got AB de Villiers down the order to give Glenn Maxwell that kind of allowance to play his shots and not to really get caged down with too much of pressure. And I think all that has worked quite well for RCB.
Yeah, Putnam Point says, Saba, it's food for thought, really. On the contrary, you have CSK, and Mark Butcher was, of course, with us in this program, and he dubbed them as the Rolling Stones because they're a retro throwback, and they've been playing some retro cricket, all right. Did you have them in your top 4 predictions, Saba? Be honest here, because with regards to CSK's form, they're looking like contenders.
To be honest, no, they were not my top 4 pick. But what is worked for CSK is the kind of combination they have played now. They have tweaked their batting order. They have brought in the right kind of combination. They do bank heavily on the all-rounders. The way they have utilized the services of, say, someone like Moeen Ali, Sam Curran, Jadeja in any case he holds the core of the side. Plus, they also got in Suresh Raina. So the way they have brought the combination together and the kind of message they have conveyed to the team members, so I get this impression that they have created a profile which has suited all the players quite well so far.
Yeah, I think it's great work by Stephen Fleming and MS Dhoni behind the scenes. We keep dubbing them as the dad's army, but old is gold. Right. Saba, it's time to put you to the test because enough of these gentle looseners outside off stump, which we've been serving you on a platter. Time to get into the nitty-gritties, and here's your 1-minute pitch for today because it's CSK RCB. I know you might be dreading it, but take a deep breath and listen to my question, all right? Right, so since the start of the last season, CSK's average score on the power play is 43, okay? So Faf du Plessis, of course, plays a pivotal part. Now, invariably, if they do get past that 43, they win 78% of the games, according to Criclytics. Do you think Faf du Plessis is underrated in the Chennai Super Kings scheme of things?
Well, some of the cricket fans may have got him wrong because they feel that he's underrated and stuff like that. But I feel the CSK team management and the coaching staff have got immense belief in Faf du Plessis' performance and his ability to score runs at the top. And I think the way Faf has delivered time and again for CSK as an opener during the power play on different kind of services, surfaces and on different conditions, I think has been quite exemplary. What is more important for Faf is at least the team management and the coaching staff, as well as the captain, they back him to the hilt. And I think that is important for Faf du Plessis.
Saba, I'll tell you what, not just immaculate points, but bang on 1 minute as well. Well done for your first verdict. You passed with flying colours, I must say. Let's see if you pass the predictions. Because, of course, we can talk about Faf du Plessis and how he's concentrating in T20 career in a while. We'll come back to him when we pick the batsmen. But just the predictions up front. Are you ready to take on the Criclytics machine?
That's going to be a tough one, Avnish. Let's see. Let me give it a shot.
Okay, let's see what Saba has in store for his batsman predictions. Speaking of Faf du Plessis, there's of course Devdutt Padikkal, who was just unbelievable in the last outing for RCB. And not to forget Virat Kohli, who has the highest average at the Wankhede for a batsman in IPL. So lots to consider, Saba. Who are you going for?
I look at conditions, I look at form, and I look at the opposition. And I feel that Virat Kohli seems to be getting back into his groove. The way he batted in the last game, the way he supported Devdutt. Very seldom one has seen a youngster surpass Virat Kohli in terms of stroke making, in terms of strike rate. But that's the hallmark of a good player. You understand that your partner is doing very well, so you take a backseat and then you play for your team's winning cause. So I think all these points augurs well for Virat Kohli. And I think when Virat Kohli is in good form, I don't think anyone else can beat him. So I would go with Virat, Avnish.
You know, in the heart of hearts, Saba, I'll tell you that I'm going for Virat too on all the fantasy platforms, including cricket.com. I'll tell you that. And the fact that he thrives against Chennai Super Kings, ladies and gentlemen, remember he's accumulated the most amount of runs against them, which is quite extraordinary. So Virat Kohli, a great pick. But Criclytics disagrees with you here, going for Faf du Plessis or Devdutt Padikkal. But it's fine. We love the banter between the machine already. Bowlers-wise, I'll tell you what Criclytics has gone with first up. It's Harshal Patel, and the numbers don't lie, Saba.
Harshal has been a revelation for RCB. It's wonderful to see an uncapped player do so well for RCB in such a, whenever he's been under the pump, he's done quite well. Death over bowling has been a big issue for RCB, but Harshal Patel has delivered on so many occasions, especially in Chennai wickets. Now I think the shift of venue may not be so easy for Harshal Patel because with his variations and stuff like that. So I would go with someone like maybe Mohammad Siraj, Avnish, because he's been excellent for RCB. Give him any kind of track, I think his exposure at the international level has really helped him grow as a bowler. So he understands the conditions quite well, and I think he could read the mindset of the batter in front of him. And I think that is why, although at times he may not have picked wickets, but the kind of pressure he has exerted on the opposition by bowling those economical overs has been wonderful to watch. For me, I would maybe go with Mohammad Siraj.
I mean, I like it. The fact that it's RCB, not even thinking about a CSK bowler here. Deepak Chahar may be coming to mind, but no. But a little bit more about Harshal Patel, guys. Let me just throw in the fun fact before we move into, of course, the all-rounders. Harshal Patel needs 3 more wickets in the death overs to be the all-time wicket taker for RCB in the death overs of any season, which just goes to show how much they've struggled in over 16 to 20. Let's go on to the all-rounders then, because there are quite a few to choose from, of course. There's Sam Curran, there's Moeen Ali, there's Ravindra Jadeja, there's Shahbaz Ahmed, Glenn Maxwell. The names are plenty. Criclytics, can you believe it, Saba, has gone for Moeen Ali to thrive in this match. Do you agree with the machine?
I can understand why the machine has gone for Moeen Ali, because he seems to be in superb form. But if you recall the last game, Moeen Ali was not utilized as a bowler. Because the track is so different at Wankhede. So if you try and understand the mindset of the captain MSD, you would see him utilizing Jadeja more than Moeen Ali, because he happens to be a left-arm spinner, and there is Devdutt Padikkal as a left-hander. They have Shahbaz Ahmed, if he plays, another left-hander. They have Washington Sundar, another left-hander. So yes, I mean, one can understand Moeen Ali bowling against such left-handers. But I mean, I would stick with Jadeja because of his proficiency on the field. He's an excellent fielder. Plus, he can bat very well down the order. And I think in most of the games, Jadeja manages to complete his quota of 4 overs. And I think MSD can understand Jadeja quite well.
Yeah, Jadeja, in fact, has scored the most amount of runs against RCB as well as a bat, if that's a factor, which will definitely swing it in Saba's favour. And he's gone against the machine. We love it. No Maxwell. We've not even spoken about Maxwell being an all-rounder, but maybe that's just slipped under the radar. Let's move on to the wicket-keepers because, of course, this is your cup of tea, considering you were a former Indian great in terms of all that stumpings behind the wicket. MS Dhoni or AB de Villiers, it's hard to choose from. MS Dhoni, mind you, loves RCB. He has the best average. He scored the most amount of runs against them.
Anytime ABD, because he's batting up the order at number 4, number 5. The kind of track he'll encounter at Wankhede, that suits his kind of batting style. Not to say that he hasn't done well even on slow tracks. He's such an exceptional player. But he has this amazing ability to, one, finish off games and also to set up brilliant targets for RCB. Plus, he's such a natural behind the stumps. So I do bank on ABD. But MSD is good to see him come up the order in the last game. He batted, I think, at number 4. That's so heartening to see, and I think everybody has been talking about him promoting himself up the order, because I really feel, since I've known MSD for such a long time, and I've kind of charted his progress not only as a batsman but also as a wicket-keeper. I do expect that he has got so much more to offer to his side. If only he can come up the order, bat maybe number 4, number 5. I think CSK will be a far more dangerous proposition.
Believe me, Saba, RCB fans have seen it before, where MS Dhoni has really turned it on in terms of vintage style MSD, and we're wishing that it might not be in this match, but the next game's, of course, after. Finally, match result, and it's CSK RCB. CSK is backed by the machine, Criclytics. The win predictor stands at 54%. Would you disagree with the machine here? You surely have to, right?
I would love to disappoint you Avinash, because and let me give you some more reason behind it. I look at both the sides. If you notice that RCB team, they have, in the last game which they played, they had 4 pace bowlers. They had Harshal Patel, they had Mohammad Siraj, they had Kane Richardson, they had Kyle Jamieson, and they had 2 spinners, Washington Sundar, and they had Yuzi Chahal. On top of that, they also had Shahbaz Ahmed. So I feel that they are maybe one solid player, solid batsman short in their 11. And on the other hand, if you look at the CSK composition, they bat really deep down the order. At number 9, you may have Shardul Thakur coming in. So that is a very strong message which they send across to all the teams. Their top order seems to be in a very good shape. Middle order with MS coming up the order really offers that kind of depth to MSD. Plus, they have Sam Curran, they have Jadeja. Looking at the depth and the kind of surface both these teams will play on at the Wankhede, it is always good to have more depth in the batting, because then you can really fire up the order in the power play, go for those big shots, try and get as many runs as possible. Even you can attack during the middle overs. So that is precisely the reason I would go with CSK this time around.
No, I mean, valid point, Saba. Even though that's a dagger in my heart, I'll take it, because at the end of the day, CSK has shown 2 sides of their brilliant batting depth. One, of course, with Rituraj and Faf giving them that explosive start, which you said, Dhoni coming in at 4. And then the other game where they scored 188, Faf being their top scorer for 33, but the others chipped in 15-20, and that's maybe the new T20 trend. We'll wait and see. But let's see how, of course, Saba will fare later in this post-match. So join us after CSK RCB, because of course we're going to be holding Saba hostage, and let's see if he gets off to a flying start, because I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, he's answered these questions brilliantly. No diplomacy, and I'll tell you what, he's also an honest man. Saba, it's been fun chatting with you. What's your verdict on the first show? Did we get off to a flying start?
Yes, really enjoyed it. It was good to have this kind of banter, and I'm really pushing my luck, I think, against the machine this time around, isn't it? I hope all my picks come true. Let's see. Fingers crossed. Wait for this.
Yeah, I mean, more the merrier, Saba. I'll leave it there. But guys, join us, of course, at cricket.com and our social media handles, and subscribe to, of course, our YouTube channel as well. And not to forget, download the cricket.com app, because this is where you can experience Criclytics, the world's most powerful predicting cricket engine, which is perhaps the best thing out there right now. Thanks for watching. It's a goodbye from me.